Okay, good morning. So today I'm going to tell you about a little project which I was hoping to wait until we were back at school to give you this project, but I think I'm going to have to start it now. It's related to the measure unit in maths, but it's also kind of to do with shape. And this is a little project. It's going to be about a 2-week project for you guys to do at home. I hope it is a fun project. The previous year groups that I have, the other year grade 5 groups that I have taught have enjoyed doing this one, so I hope that it will be fun for you. So first I will explain the project. I'm then going to very quickly go through the science activities from yesterday, and then I'm going to do some maths with you, some more fractions stuff. All fractions, it's very exciting. I'll just get started with the project, and I want you to imagine that you are an architect for Harry Potter. So what you are going to design is something a bit like this. So this is a floor plan for a house. Somebody has designed a house, and it's like you're above the house looking down on it. So here we can see, here's the living room. We've got some sofas here. We've got the dining room with the table over here. We've got the kitchen here. Then what have we got here? Bedroom, 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 bathroom. So this is a house. It's a picture of a house looking down from above. And obviously these are the walls around the outside. We've got the doors here. And then these thin parts, these are the windows. So here it is. Bigger than that. Our esteemed client, Mr. H. Potter, has requested a design from us for a new house. The house sits on a plot of land that is 28 meters wide and 40 meters long. So I'm going to give you this grid. You will need to print this out yourself. So normally I would print it out on A3 paper, on big paper. But if you can't print it onto A3, then you will have to just print it on A4 and do it like that. So the house sits on a plot of land 28 meters wide and 40 meters long. So this grid is 28 squares, sorry, 40 squares along the top and 28 squares down. So basically this grid here, this is what you can use to design your house. Where are we? Here. Although Mr. Potter is happy for you to use your creativity and design skills in the process of building the house, he has some specific requests for you to fulfill. So you can be creative and you can design it in the way that you want, but there are a few things that you need to do. It says, please make sure you follow the design exactly. And then we've got a few things which you need. So there are some things which he wants inside the house, and there are some things which he wants inside the garden. So in the land that you've got, in this whole space here, you need to have some space which is a house, and you need to have some space which is a garden. So some of the things that he wants. The house should be a compound rectilinear shape. That means a shape that is made of more than one rectangle. Should be a compound rectilinear shape with a total area of approximately 350 meters squared. There should be a large rectangular living room with a total area of exactly 50 meters squared. There should be 3 bedrooms and so on. I'm not going to read all of them to you. So these are the things that you need to have inside the house. And these are the things that you need to have in the garden. So there'll be 2 parts to your design, the house and the garden. So I will send these things to you. In fact, I have already emailed this information to you. And I have also emailed to you the marking grid. So this is how I will grade your work. There are 2 marks for each of the things. So getting the area of the house correct, that's 2 marks. Getting the living room correct, that's 2 marks. So I've told you what I need for each of these things. And if they're correct, then you will get 2 marks. So it's house area, living room, bedrooms, kitchen table, bathrooms. There's a bit that asks you to put some tiles down and say how expensive it will be. So these parts that are 2 marks, these are just for basically following the instructions. If you follow the instructions correctly, then you will get 2 marks for each one of these things. Okay. However, there's also 2 more at the end. There's 6 marks for design, and there's 6 marks for presentation. So the design marks, this is for creativity. It's for how creative you will have been in your design. How have you made the house interesting? How have you made the house beautiful? How have you made it suitable for a wizard to live in? How have you made it a nice place for a wizard to be? So I'm looking for creative designs, for interesting designs. That's how you're going to get your 6 marks for design. And then there's 6 marks for presentation. So this is about how careful you have been. How carefully have you drawn the lines? How beautiful have you made it? How straight are your lines? How well is it designed? How neatly is the writing done? So this is about neatness, about taking care over your work. And this is about being creative, making your work interesting. So for these parts, you just need to follow the instructions, and then you also need to make it interesting, and you also need to be careful with it and make it as beautiful as possible. Okay. So I'll go back to my camera now. Are there any questions? So if you have a question, first question from Viet Kang, can we work in a group? No, this is an individual project. Are there any other questions? If you have any other questions about it, type it into the comments now. Can I not make it for Potter? Who do you want to make it for, Lemaine? Myself. Well, if you look at the instructions, the thing is, it's kind of designed around being a house for a wizard. For example, there should be a cupboard for wands, and the cupboard must be in the shape of an equilateral triangle. Okay. Also, the owls need something to eat, and make a building for a dragon to live in. So I'm not sure if you have. I'm not sure if you have a dragon. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you can design it for yourself. It doesn't really make too much difference to me. As long as you are following these instructions, as long as you have, for example, made the house the correct area, as long as you have put in this cupboard, it's fine. Yeah, if you want to design it for yourself, I don't really mind, but you must still follow these instructions. No, you must make a place for a dragon. Okay, any other questions about that? Yes, you're drawing. You need to draw it onto this grid. So it tells you like all of the units are in meters squared. So here it tells you like 100 meters squared. So each of these, each square, you have to assume that that's 1 meter square. So this is 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. Okay. It's imaginary, Lemaine. Okay. So I will set you that now. And I'm going to say that I will want to have it back for not the Monday next week, but the Monday after that. So basically you've got this weekend, you've got all of next week to do it, and then I will want to have it back on the Monday after that. That's assuming that we're in school. If we're not in school, then I guess we'll have to wait a bit longer. You can design that, yeah, I mean, you can design the house for whoever you want, but you must follow these instructions and you must have the things which are on there. Okay, so I have already emailed to you the link for the Harry Potter house, but I am going to send you the link now again, so that, just in case you didn't get that email. So Trung Hiếu, it says 28 meters wide and 40 meters long. So that is this. This is 28 squares and this is 40 squares. So you can just assume that each one of these squares is a meter. So basically what I'm saying is that you can use this whole piece of paper to do your design. So I've given you lots of instructions for what I want you to do. If you want to add extra rooms and you want to add new stuff in there, you can add new stuff in there. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so that is the project. We're going to do some maths now, and then if we have time at the end, I'm going to go through the science from yesterday as well. I know that you love talking about Harry Potter, and you want to carry on talking about Harry Potter. For now, can you please stop in the comments because I need to teach you something about fractions. Yes, so.
Mr. Martin.
Yeah?
I had, my mom has 7 books about Harry Potter, and I have one book about Harry Potter's author.
Excellent. I think a lot of people have read Harry Potter, which is why I chose Harry Potter as the person to build a house for. Thank you for sharing, Tanghai. Right, can everybody make sure that you're on Hangouts now? And it's time to stop comments because I need you to be watching, please. Look, mate. Okay, comments finished now, please. Just make a comment if you want to ask about what we are doing. Otherwise, please stay quiet on the comments. Okay, let's begin. So we've been doing a bit of stuff about fractions. We did some fraction stuff yesterday. I know that I gave you quite a lot of fraction stuff over the last few weeks. Generally, we've been talking about fractions a lot. And fractions can be confusing, so it's important to talk about them as much as possible. So today we're going to talk about converting improper fractions to mixed numbers, and actually we're going to do some converting the other way around as well. And we've talked about mixed numbers a bit, but we haven't talked about improper fractions very much so far. So first of all, I'll just tell you an improper fraction is a fraction where the top number, the numerator, is larger than the denominator. So an example of an improper fraction might be, say, 5 quarters. This is an improper fraction because this, the numerator, is larger than this, the denominator. It's an improper fraction. Now, if I wanted to make a fraction that was equal to 1, with a 4 on the bottom, with a quarters, then the way that I can do that is by having the same number on the top. Now, with any fraction, if I have the same number on the top and the bottom, it will always be equal to 1. So let's have a quick look at why that is. Let's say I take this square and I divide it into 4. I've divided it into quarters. I've divided it into 4 pieces. Well, this top number, this tells me how many of those pieces I choose. Well, if I choose 1, 2, 3, 4 of those pieces, well, now I've chosen all of it. I've chosen the whole square. I've chosen 1 square. So if the numerator, the top number, is the same as the bottom number, the denominator, then we have 1. It must be 1. So let's go back to our improper fraction over here. So here we've got 5 quarters. Well, I'm going to break that up into 2 parts. Instead of saying that's 5 quarters, I'm going to say, well, that's 4 quarters plus 1 quarter. So obviously 4 quarters, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 quarters plus 1 quarter. Well, that's the same as 5 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarters. So 4 quarters plus 1 quarter. Now we know that 4 quarters is the same as 1. Okay. So actually what we've got here is 1 plus 1 quarter. Oh my goodness, I've run out of space. 1 plus 1 quarter. Okay, and actually we can see that here as well. Here we've got a whole 1, and here we've got 1 quarter. 1 plus 1 quarter. We can write that like this, 1 and a quarter. And of course, this is what we call a mixed number. This is a mixed number here. So what I have done is I have converted my improper fraction into a mixed number. Okay, so I'll do that a little bit more clearly now for this one. So here it asks me to convert 7 quarters to a mixed number. So I'm going to say that 7 quarters is the same as 4 quarters plus 3 quarters. 4 plus 3 obviously equals 7, so now we've got 7 quarters. Okay. So that is the same as 1 plus 3 quarters, because 4 quarters is the same as 1. So we can say that 7 quarters is the same as 1 and 3 quarters. Okay. So every time we have 4 quarters, that's the same as having 1. All right, so that was a conversion from an improper fraction to a mixed number. Now remember, an improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator is larger than the denominator. Top number is larger than the bottom number. Okay, let's have another one here. Now, this one is a little bit more challenging because now we've got a much bigger number on top. We've got a much larger improper fraction. Again, we need to convert our improper fraction to a mixed number. So let's have a go at that. So we've got 23 fifths. Now, I can look at this like this. I can say, okay, well, it's 5 fifths plus 5 fifths, that's 10 fifths, add 5 fifths, that's 15 fifths, add 5 fifths. Okay, now I've got 20 fifths, add 3 fifths. So here, this is 20 fifths, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then I've got 3 more, so I've got 23 fifths in total. So each of these is equal to 1, each of these is equal to 1 because the numerator is the same as the denominator. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So I've got 4 and then I've got 3 fifths on the end. I've got 4 and 3 fifths. Okay. Now, this is fine. You can just do it like this and everything will be okay. But you can make it quicker for yourself. There's another way to think about this. You could think about it as take that 23 and divide by 5. 23 divided by 5, well, that's 4 with a remainder of 3. 4 remainder 3. Okay, interesting. Because here we've got a 4 and here we've got a 3. So essentially what we are doing here is just doing a division to a mixed number. It's the same as what we've done before. And we've talked about how the top number, we've talked about how the numerator is based, let me start again. We've talked about how this fraction, 23 fifths, is basically the same as 23 divided by 5. And we've also talked about how to divide big numbers to make a mixed number, and that's basically what we've done here. So we have done 23 divided by 5 to get 4 with a remainder of 3. here we've got 4 and 3/5. So if we wanted to show this as a mixed number, again it would be 4 and 3/5. Okay. Let's look at it another way. So now we're asked to do the opposite. Convert 1 and 1/3 to an improper fraction. 1 and 1/3. And we want to make it into an improper fraction, a fraction where the numerator is larger than the denominator. Okay. Well, I know that this 1 is the same as 3/3. Because when we have the same numerator and denominator, it's equal to 1. So I could take this 1 and 1/3 and instead change it to 3/3 plus 1/3. 3/3 is the same as 1. Okay, well, 3/3 plus 1/3, let's see, bum, 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 bum. Here I've broken this into thirds. Here's 3/3, 1, 2, 3, 3/3, and then I have got 1/3, 1/3, okay, 1/3 here, 1/3. In total I've got 4/3. Okay, so that was a fairly simple one. Let's have a look at the next one. 7 and 4/6 to an improper fraction. So again, now this one is a little bit more challenging. Bigger numbers. So what are we working with? 7 and 4/6. 7 and 4/6. Okay. Now, I could take this 7. I could take this 7 and say, okay, well that's going to be 6, 6 plus 6, 6 plus 6. 6, and so on, and I could do this 7 times, but actually if I do this 7 times, I'm just going to be adding 6 7 times, and I know that 7 sixes is 42. Seven sixes are 42. So, my 7 is equal to 42/6. This 42 is my 7 cut into 6. 7 is 42/6. And then I've got 4/6 as well. 6. So, this 7 is shown here, and my 4/6 is shown here. 7 and 4/6. So this is the same as 6, 6, add 6, 6, add 6, 6, add 6, 6, add 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, add 6, 6, add 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so each of these is equal to 1, and we have 7 of them, and this is 42/6. I hope that's not too confusing. Let's find out. So I haven't finished the question yet, have I? 42/6 and 4/6. I just add the top numbers. So there I have got 46/6 and a happy face. Okay. So we don't have very long at all. I have made a new quiz for you. I've always made a new quiz for you. I see 3 maths. I have made a new quiz for you, which is called Mixed Numbers and Improper Fractions. So I don't think it will take you too long. Again, when you're working through this quiz, can you please make sure that you are working on pencil and paper? You're not just guessing. you are actually working out the problems with the pencil and paper and then putting in the answers once you have worked them out. So we haven't got long now. Get started on this quiz. If you have any questions, then please ask me over the microphone or in the comments. So you're going to have to take screenshots. Yeah. So when we do things like that, we take screenshots. Trust Dojo. Yeah. That's
Mr. Martin.
yes.
I don't remember how to change improper fraction into a mixed number.
Is that because you were busy posting emojis into the comments instead of focusing on what I was saying?
No?
No? Okay.
Oh, me too.
Fractions into mixed numbers or the other way around? Number with the same value as the improper fraction. So here we've got 13 quarters. Okay, so we know that 4 quarters is equal to 1. Okay, so what I can do is I can just break this up into how many 4 quarters can I make. So 4 quarters, 8 quarters, 12 quarters, 4, 8, 12. I need to make 13 quarters, so I will add 1 more quarter here. Okay, so each of these is equal to 1. And then I have 1 more quarter on the end. Is that helpful? Is that finished? Well, no. So if each of these is equal to 1, then we can say that's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 quarter. And I hope that you will be able to work that out for yourself.
So we just add them together?
Yeah. So each of these, I have taken my 13 quarters and I have broken it into parts. So each of these parts is equal to 1. So I've got 4 quarters, add 4 quarters, add 4 quarters. So that's 4 quarters, 8 quarters, 12 quarters. In total, I needed to make 13 quarters. So I added one more in the end. 4, 8, 12, 13 quarters. Each of these 4 quarters, look, 1, 2, there. Here's something divided into quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 quarters, I have colored the whole thing. I have got 1. 4 quarters is equal to 1. So this is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 quarter, and we need to make that into a mixed number.
Oh, so well, when finished, we just need to add them together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mr. Martin.
Yeah?
I don't really understand question 11.
Question 11.
Yeah.
Four pizzas are cut into quarters. I think maybe this question is easier than you're expecting it to be. If we cut 4 pizzas into quarters, how many pieces do we have? That's all I'm asking you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teacher Martin,
Yeah?
in question 7, it says that 2 and 1 out of 3 is equals 3 out of 7 in question 7. It says like that.
Hold on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it's wrong. Sorry, yeah, that's my mistake.
Mr. Martin, I finished the quiz.
You finished the quiz.
Yeah.
All right, just wait a couple of minutes. Do you know what score you got?
9 out of 12.
9 out of 12. Which questions did you get wrong?
The 2 last question and the question I will see it again.
Mr. Martin, I finished.
Okay, just wait for a couple of minutes.
Mr. Martin, finished.
Yes, 7/3 is correct. The answer before was 3/7. Where are you? So question 10. Yeah, 34 out of 6 is an equivalent fraction. But there is another answer there, which is also correct. Okay, guys, can you come back to the Hangouts now, please?
I'm here.
Hello.
Here
Right.
I am.
We're going to finish up for today. We just have a single lesson today. I am going to share with you, sorry, I have already shared with you the Harry Potter house stuff. So your work for this weekend and also over next week is to be working on the Harry Potter house. That's your work for today and for the weekend. You also need to finish the mixed numbers and improper fractions quiz, but I don't think it will take you very long. So finish the mixed numbers quiz, do the Harry Potter house. For your Harry Potter house, it's a project and I will grade it as a project. It needs to be well done. It needs to be carefully made. And it needs to look like you have put hours of work into it, not just a few minutes. So please make sure that is the absolute best it can be, and do it on big paper if you can. Do it on A3 paper. If you have questions, please email me over today, or if you want to speak to me at the weekend, then you need to speak to me on Class Dojo. Can you do it on the computer? No, do it by hand, please. If you want to do an extra one on the computer, and if you want to do an extra one on the computer, then I can grade that as well. That's fine, but you need to do me at least one that is drawn by hand. Also, if you have any trouble printing the paper or you're not able to print the paper, please email me about that. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can stay on the chat and ask me now. If you don't have any questions, then you can leave the chat now. And have a great weekend.
Mr. Martin.
Yeah?
I don't know, my house can print the A3 paper.
If you can't print it on A3, then just print it to A4.
Okay.
It's okay.
Mr. Martin, can you send again the web?
Say again what? Sorry, the work?
Yeah, the Harry Potter house.
Oh, you want me to send the link again?
We use we use paper Harry Potter to by hand, not for computer, right? Do A3 or A4 if you want, right?
Yes, do it by hand, please. If you can do it on A3, it's better to do it on A3, but if you can't print A3, then do it on A4.
Mr. Martin,
Yes.
can we make like model?
Can you make a model? You can, but you must also give me the floor plan. So you need to give me something which
I
looks
made it.
like this. Oh, hold on. You need to give me something which looks like this. But if you also want to give me a model, then that's okay. That would be amazing.
Goodbye.
Bye.